Okay, so with a shape like this, um, you want to have this bottom the same as the top because you've got those little bits as well. And so we can kind of just come in and delete whatever that noise is.
Am I foolish for assuming plastic would be easier than metal?
It's different. It's not easier or harder. It's just different. But what I am going to do is I'm going to come in here, and instead of recreating what we've already made, I'm just going to use it. O, Alt-click, flip across a horizontal, make a copy of it, and then we can combine those two things. And now we've got that, except screw that up a little bit. Yeah, come back, it'll be fine. Ooh. This way, there we go. Then I just need this one and this one. And click here, and let's balance them out. So no space in between them, like that. There we go, that's a little bit better. And you can also see like there's a lot more room on the outside edge. And so we can do that too. So if we just grab this and just get rid of it. Now let's take this, and for now we're just going to leave this alone. And I'm going to take this outer shape. I'm going to use this outer shape to give us kind of this outer width, right? And this thing kind of flows in. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go copy, paste, and back. I'll just expand this out. I'm just kind of eyeballing it about like that. Okay, then we'll grab this. I throw that behind. I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to merge it with that. And so I'm going to delete a lot of these anchor points. Okay, I'm going to take this one, get rid of that curve. This one, get rid of the curve. I'm going to grab both of those. I'm going to lift them up like this. Apparently, there's an extra one here. Go away, extra anchor point. There we go. Okay. And then I need this one or this one. Okay. So now I have that. I'm going to take this and this, and I could do a number of things, but I think what I'm going to do is combine them. So I'm going to add them together. And then I'm going to come in, and I'm basically just going to delete that line like that.
Are you serious? It's that easy?
Yeah, and that's going to give you kind of more of that shape. Then I can just grab this, copy, paste in front, rotate it around, move it up, so that we're pretty well where we need to be there.
That makes me sad that it's seriously that easy because I struggled.
Yeah, it's not an easy shape, and I'm still a little bit off. There's a touch of a curve here. You could probably play with it a little bit more, but basically that's what you're looking at. So yeah, okay, so we've got that. And now I'm going to take what we just built here, and I'll combine those into a single shape. And I am going to start building in now. I see like just a little bit of a ridge along this edge. I see a little bit of a highlight and a little crescent along this edge. And then most of it is going to be here. And it kind of curves in. So one easy way to do this is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go Object, Path, Offset Path. Okay, and we've already changed it to pixels, and so we'll go Preview, and I'm going to come inside just enough to kind of work with this. And so I'll go about there, I think is where I want to be. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, there's good. Then I hit OK. Okay, and now I'm going to get our little swatches because we're dealing with the same plastic color here. So I'll grab these three. Have some consistency and bring those down. Okay, now let's look at these a little bit more. So we'll zoom in here. Okay, so this top one that I just made, I'm going to make that this color. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to blur it. And we'll go preview.
So would you say it's better to pick out those colors yourself or to try to use like the eyedropper?
So that's a good question. The eyedropper is deceptive because it makes you think that what you got is what you need. But it's actually off. And so the eyedropper can be a good place to start, but I would never finish there. And so you can eyedrop stuff, but then I would back off of that, and I would back off of that piece and like just kind of mix your own.
Yeah, because like I attempted with the bottom part of the yellow in the watch.
Yeah.
That was just brutal. I was in the car annoyed.
Yeah, the eyedropper can be frustrating that way. Okay, so I just did that, and then I still need to build this up a little bit. I'm going to lock that down so I don't keep hitting it. So Command 2 to lock things. I'm going to grab this again. I'm going to copy, paste in front. And so now it's like layered on top. I don't want to cut this, but I'm going to cut it kind of in an arbitrary way. And so I'm going to use a tool that most people don't use in Illustrator called the eraser tool. And whatever you have selected, you can just kind of go in and just paint things away. And so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to paint to the top there. I'm going to go over here, paint that off. And then I'm just going to grab this one and delete. And what that left is it left these two that are now like layering over the top of that. So it makes these top ones a little bit brighter. And I'm going to round those off.
So then, I guess my next question is, how are you able to erase things without, like, I don't know, getting rid of the watch face? Like,
good question. So it's because I had it selected.
Okay.
So if
because I feel like I do that and then I totally wipe out whatever I just had.
Yeah. So like if I want to only erase this red one and not this white one or whatever. If I just do it like this over the top, it's going to erase whatever's selected. So if I intended it for it to be the red one, then I need to select the red one. The other way that I do it is if I don't want to get the red one and I'm certain I don't want to get the red one, I can lock it, which is Command 2, or you can, I think you can right click. I never do right click. I know you can lock it in the object menu, but if you just press Command 2, then I can't click on that thing anymore. And so then I come in here and I can cut this. And
so then if you want to unlock it, you just, what do you do?
Command Alt 2, and that'll bring everything that you've locked back. And that's both, those are both in the
other one as well.
Yeah, object lock selection or
Okay.
unlock all. That's kind of what's going on there. Okay, so let's get rid of that.
This is going to sound bad, but I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's okay. That's why you're taking this class. You learn stuff like that. Okay, so then we're just going to start just building this up and knocking it back. And so I'm going to come in here like this, and I'm going to grab, I'm going to lock that shape. We don't need it anymore. Lock that shape. We don't need it anymore. Lock that shape. Okay, now I want to grab this shape, and I want to kind of knock some of these things back a little bit. And so I'm actually going to unlock those. So I just changed my mind. So let's go here. And what is it that I keep clicking on? I think I'm going to lock this whole layer. Just going to lock that whole thing. But where is that? Linked file. Let's get rid of that. Okay. There we go. Lock that. Okay, so now we're going to come in here, and I'm just going to start knocking some of this back. But I want to unlock all those things. I'm going to grab this. Zoom in. So I'm going to grab this and this and the one that's underneath them, not that one. There we go. Okay, I think Yeah, got the ones I want. Okay, so I want to make sure that those are inside of this path. And so there are those 3. And so I'm going to take this path and yes, so I'm going to copy, paste in front. So I have 2 versions of that path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to take that and put it on top of these 3. I'm going to mask them all. Command 7 to mask. Okay, now we know that they're not spilling to the outside edge of anything. Okay, and then I'm going to take inside of this clip group and I'm going to start adding some things. So basically I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a big gradient and I'm going to go black to white. So I'll go black, sorry, black to black. So I'll go black to black and one of these knock it back to 0, change it to linear, rotate it 90 degrees, or negative 90, let's see, yeah, the other way, so we'll flip that around like that. Okay, and then once I line this up, I just want to get this and put it inside of that clip group. No, this clip group. Okay, and now I can start controlling like how far those kind of get knocked back. And if I want to use my gradient annotator, I can say I want it to be black up until this point, but I want it to fall off kind of quickly, so you can kind of step it off like that. And so you're using that shape to kind of knock things back. Do the same thing at the bottom. So we're going to look at it, just look back at our reference here. Zoom out a couple times. Okay.
Oh, see, it didn't keep the font. So if I like outline, like, do you see what I'm talking about on the
Yeah,
text
if you
of the
outline the font, it'll come through.
Okay.
Yeah. And so here I've got this bend, this little arc. And so I'm going to use this one that I already built. Alt click with O and flip and copy. Except this time I'm going to change my gradient to white and white. And then I'm going to...
So is that going to look weird because the other highlights are blue?
it might, but you could use the same blue, which wouldn't be bad. But because I'm blending it and mixing it, it won't look that bad. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Envelope Options. And under that, make sure I have Distort Linear Gradient Fills checked. And then I'm going to go to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make Width Warp. And that will help me bend this so I can get that little bit of an arc. Okay, but I'm going to go arc upper like that, and then I'm going to dial it back quite a bit. About like that is good. And then I just take my black arrow tool and just kind of back this off so that I can kind of get that bent feel. Okay. And then if we don't want these edges, you can either blur that whole thing, or we can just kind of pull those off like this. Well, let me grab that one. There we go. Pull off like that. Pull down. Easier. And so you can further kind of adjust where that is. And if you double click on this, it'll take you into the clip group.
Mm-hmm.
If you double click on this, it'll take you into that envelope, and then you can grab your gradient, and you can kind of work with that gradient in there further. So I'm going to escape to get out of that. That gives us our little curve,
Mm-hmm.
and then it looks like I need to knock this other one back a little bit more, and so I can grab this a little bit. Maybe I even add a gradient to this so that this can fade somewhat or something like that. But basically you're just going to keep doing that, and then you're going to come in and let's go in here. I'm seeing more that kind of needs to be like layered in. Like there's some very dark black edges, right? And so we can, grab a shape like this, and we can just use this to start to kind of bring that black in. Pull it back. Okay, and if we come in and go multiply and knock it back a little bit, then it's not so extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use a round shape or whatever. You'll start to see that that'll start to build that up there, right? And so we can grab that, do the same thing over here. I'll click and drag, or I'll click, copy it that way. We can grab both of those, we'll do it on the other side. I'll click, flip it horizontally, like that, that'll build it up there. Now and then you can kind of just adjust further however much you need to bring it in. Okay.
Okay.
Just kind of keep building it like that.